So, launched in 2020, this was quite frankly, in my opinion, the saving grace for Maserati. They've been living off things like a Levante and, quite honestly, not the prettiest cars such as the Ghibli diesel, but now they are harking back to days of old when they used to make some of, if not the most beautiful classic cars. And well, quite frankly, this is stunning. This is the car that I feel like the supercar world needed. The supercar world needed not something that was truly aerodynamics and truly like everything had to be sports orientated. Maserati have done this and they've made it stunning. So in February 2020, Maserati revealed their latest iteration and the thing that quite frankly had to save the brand, the MC20, the spiritual predecessor to the Maserati MC12. Now the MC12 obviously being a hypercar and one of the most iconic modern hypercars ever made, and also fetching almost £3 million now. To call this a spiritual predecessor, you really got to highlight the word spiritual. But in terms of styling, I think Maserati are finally harking back to the days of the 1600s and all of those. Now let's run through some very clever styling cues that Maserati have done. And one of the most ingenious things that they've done starts at the back with this. Now admittedly, you can't see jack out of the back of this, but if you notice where the vents are, it actually represents the Maserati logo. And I think that is just so elegant. Where this car comes into its own is the driving and on the inside of it. But as always, I don't want to hark on about all of the great things. I also want to tell you about some of the things that are quite frankly hilariously awful. So, well, let's talk about storage. So one of the main issues with this car being storage, if we come around the back and once you've worked out whereabouts your absolute, well, brick is of a key, you have to double press the boot button and wait 5 seconds, example. Don't know why there's a delay. And then you open it to find, well, nothing really. There's a lovely 3-litre V6, but if we take my bag out, you will realise that this is insanely shallow. And then, like, look, if I put my jacket there and my laptop there, that's almost 50% of the whole boot space taken up. You're probably thinking, oh, but Zach, it's a rear-engined car. That bag's quite big. Well, that's enough for me in, well, 2 days. Also, I've had to put my camera bag and my other jacket in here. And then if we reach down here to the lever that took me, quite honestly, ages to find, we get to the front of the car when Maserati, well, I hope they don't feel like they've made up for it, because reaching in, you actually realise just how little storage there is, because, well, just look at it. It's embarrassing. I mean, the only plus side is they've put forged carbon and some nice checked carbon to take away from the lack of space. I mean, with the compressor and the logbook in it and all of the details, there isn't enough space to hold my laptop, and no, I'm not actually kidding. That's the God's honest truth. If we step inside then, and unfortunately you're going to have to excuse the fact that there is a mess in the car, I don't have enough space to put my stuff. Let's hop in, and we are addressed with, well, just take a look. Now, rather amusingly, Maserati obviously didn't have the facilities to be able to have one thing to show what was open, so the front door is open, then the rear boot is open. I mean, I'm wondering, if I open that door, does that mean there's 3 pictures, and then if I open the front, does that mean there's 4? I mean, why? That seems odd. Other silly features, the windscreen wiper. 90% of windscreen wipers, when you click them up, they'll stay on. No, you have to use this twiddly knob to actually set that on auto, and then that's speed 1, and then like that's speed 2. But why can't it just be on a stalk and then that be the adjustment for like the auto wiper? Just strange. Now, in true Italian form, luckily the CarPlay is working, but I have had this car for 2 days now and it's the first time it's worked, and I don't know why. I've tried to set it and it just doesn't work. It's odd, put it that way. And also, explain to me this, Why is it if I go on media, this is how you select your source, and then you go on to phone, which isn't here because of CarPlay, so obviously CarPlay works perfectly well. But what does make me chuckle is I'm pretty sure that's not an MC20, I'm pretty sure that is a Gran Turismo. The one thing I will give this car though, and fair play to Maserati, they have made it incredibly comfortable. The seats, they're very nice. The headrest is actually surprisingly soft. It's not like one of those typical headrests where when they're built into the seats, it's really quite stiff. I've spent quite a lot of time in this, and actually I'm amazed. I know there's some downfalls, there's downfalls to every car, especially Italians, but this is surprising. The steering, it's lovely electronically assisted steering. It's got lots of bits about it that really tick a lot of boxes. So while waiting for this rain to die down a little bit, I want to ask this sheep something. Excuse me, sheep, what do you think of the car?
They have an ancestry that goes back 100 million years to the age of the dinosaur. Here, there is hope.
Great, thanks. See, even the wildlife love the MC20. So, let's do a review from this angle then. The first thing, the steering wheel, lovely position, make sure the handbrake's off, give the stupid wiper blades a go, and then let's hit the road, shall we? So we are on a very tight little country lane, and now thanks to the rain it's very, very wet, and with it being wet, on these Bridgestone Potenzas, this thing is lethal. It's the one thing I think Maserati should have done. They should have gone to a nice set of Cup 2 Michelins, and this thing would be untamable. It would be so quick. It's the only thing that lets it down, and considering that's not even on Maserati, I think Maserati have done a pretty good job on this. One of the main things that you notice when driving this MC20, especially around town or around tight areas, is how remarkably nimble it is. Now, for a car that's rear-wheel drive, and actually, if you really strip it down to bare bones, quite a simple thing. A lot of horsepower, rear-wheel drive, actually fairly slippery tyres. It's on Pirellis. The one thing you do notice about this though, if you stick it in Corsa, put it in manual, and you decide you want to give it a little bit of a squirt, the fact that it's quite a small platform means, well, you can have a bit of fun with it. With the tyres being what they are, no matter how good a traction control system is, it'll always be let down in some ways or another. But actually, the traction control system is very good, considering, well, how not great the tyres are. Now, if you do decide that you want to be a little bit stupid, you can play with this little knob down here.
That's what she said!
I say. And then it puts it into Corsa. Now you can see ESC off. It means, well, it's off, but I feel like it's a little bit restricted because there is yet another mode that says ESC off. But if I decide to give it a little squirt out of here, you can tell it wants to be lively, but not in a scary sense. And that harks back to the Pista. I mean, the Pista has a lot of grunt, a lot of torque, a lot of power, and when you do decide to be a bit silly with it, actually it's kind of scary, whereas this, it feels very tameable. The one thing I wish Maserati were able to do is put the gearbox map from the Corsa setting into Sport, because the downshifts are just lovely. They give this sort of aggressive punch, and then you accelerate and upshift, and it just feels more sporty. That's the only bad thing about this gearbox, because I tell you what, actually, for a £190,000 supercar, these guys have got it right. I mean, wow. That is quite something. Right, let's see what the launch control's like. Press launch, launch on, foot on the brake. Wow, that is quite the get-up. I mean, wow, I mean, when you get warm tyres, this thing is just on another level. I mean, it really is quite spicy. So how about this then? A little bit of a POV review in the rain of a rear-wheel drive 600 brake horsepower sports car. This can only go one way, can't it? I mean, you guys have literally just seen the weather go from mediocre to absolute f***ing garbage. But we will ignore the rain for now, and we shall talk about the general essence of this MC20, the feel of it on a day-to-day basis. The steering is beautifully light, it absorbs bumps remarkably well. I mean, really quite remarkably well. The steering is responsive, but also not so much so that it picks up every nook and cranny on the road. It could be a little bit less vague at times. I find when you're going into some faster corners and you're really hoping to get a good feel for it, there are moments when you could appreciate a little bit more feel through them Bridgestones, but I do genuinely feel like the car has that capability. It's simply down to the tyres. Being in Corsa mode, it's quite fun because, well, it has the pista feel to it. Like, I know that sounds nuts, but actually with this gearbox being quite a hard gearbox if you want it to be, it means that you get a sportier feel to it. It's kind of cool. Now, I suppose considering we're in some pretty unpleasant weather, the road is pretty wet, why don't we change this down to wet? And it gives us both gauges. It doesn't show all of the speed, but I love the fact that it goes up to 230 miles an hour in wet mode. It also doesn't show you all of the revs. Depending on how high you take the revs will depend on what numbers it shows you. Actually, would I have said that this is a good display? Yeah, actually, I think Maserati have done it very cleverly, because when you're driving fast, you don't need to know your speed, you need to know your revs. So you put it in GT mode, it just shows you revs, then your speed. Then you put it in sport, it shows your gear, and then if you put it in a Corsa, it shows your gear and a little bit less revs. I feel like Corsa is the best display, but also with ESC being off in the wet, probably not the best idea. So let's put it back in GT mode for now, because, well, it may be the downfall of me, but I feel like if things go wrong, I should be able to handle it. Now, as you guys can see, this road isn't particularly wonderful, and my Focus RS, I would have no teeth left and probably have to have a spinal transfusion, but in this, it absorbs it really well, and you put it in Corsa, or even if you put it in firm suspension mode, or what they call mid damper active, that makes it just a little bit more flat, a little bit more sports car, supercar feel to it. The MC20 being strapped to a 7-speed automatic or semi-automatic gearbox, it is incredibly smooth. The plus side, which I have mentioned before, being with the Corsa mode, it does give that rough feel. I can imagine this thing on track would be quite exhilarating, and with it being quite a short wheelbase, the car feels very, very nimble. I mean, I would relate this to, well, it feels maybe a foot, maybe half a foot less than a Ferrari, so it means that you don't get intimidated by it as much, which is, you know, it's refreshing. So there you guys have it. This was a bit of a whistle-stop tour, and thank you so much to Maserati in Birmingham for lending me the wonderful MC20, and genuinely, it could even be an addition to the garage at some point, because I am very, very impressed indeed. So yeah, I can't really sum it up. It is, what would I say? Is it worth the money? Yes, it is, because this is competing with cars just across the road at Ferrari quite happily. Styling wise, 100%. You'd be ridiculous to say it's not. And actually, refinement, the finish on it, yeah, there's little bits, but there's little bits on Ferraris, there's little bits on everything. No one's perfect, and actually Maserati have embraced that perfectly. So there you have it, guys. The MC20. I don't think it'll be the last time it's seen on this channel. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.